What's up, guys? This is Brother Chris with the Heads Not the Tails once again. And once again, I've had another vision of an earthquake in Las Vegas. And in my vision, I was in a hotel room at the Bellagio, looking out over the water and everything that's out front of the Bellagio, when all of a sudden everything started shaking. And once everything shook, I remember just getting a hold of myself and looking around the room and watching some other people panic around me. And then an aftershock hit. Another little aftershock. And I don't know really why I was in the Bellagio. I really stay out of these hotels and casinos nowadays, but don't get me wrong now. I've met a lot of good people out here in Las Vegas, real Christian people that are just honestly trying to make a living, you know, and stay out of trouble. It's really what you do in your spare time in here, that all the extra sin that gets you caught up, you know. Don't get caught up and don't partake in the city sins, you know what I mean? Uh in 2016, we had an earthquake out here that split the freeway. There was a big old hole in the freeway for a minute, and they had to fix that. But that reminds me, now on the other side of all this, I don't know if you guys remember, but I had kind of a revelation about Las Vegas being a giant volcano. And God told me you're in the middle of a volcano. I was probably about 13 years old when I had that revelation. Not just any volcano either. You're in the top middle of the world's largest, most ancient volcano. And Las Vegas is built right in the top middle of this thing. Now, if you've ever been to Vegas, you'll know that we're in a valley, like a fishbowl, and we're surrounded by a mountain range all the way around us. And if you look, these mountains are actually just the rim of the top of the volcano. And the valley that we're in is the top middle of the volcano. That's why this article really surprised me, because I've been saying it, and then finally someone came out and said, this is an old ancient volcano. Now, I don't think it's 16 million years old, but probably around 3 or 4 thousand years maybe. Back when I was like 13 or 14 and God gave me the revelation that we're on a volcano, I started thinking about it. We're in Sin City, and I always wondered what would be the destruction of Sin City. And I've got a lot of confirmation already that it's going to be destroyed by fire and earthquakes. Fire, how? Maybe a volcano. Earthquakes, for sure. I don't know if you've heard of Dmitri Duduman, but his prophecy said that it would be destroyed by fire, probably from a nuke, from the way he described it. And I was thinking, we are in the desert, like by Tonopah Test Range, and they like to test nuclear stuff in deserts and stuff. So if they were gonna blow up a city, maybe it'll be in the middle of a desert so it doesn't affect everybody else. So they say. This article is stating that these volcanoes are recharging. It often makes me wonder, is it hot out here because of the sun? Or is the heat coming up from under our feet? Not only that, where's all the water from Lake Mead going? When I moved here in 1990, there was so much water in that thing it looked like an ocean. Now, it looks like a little skinny little lake. Another interesting fact, they call this whole desert the high desert. Wonder why? Because maybe it's the top of a high volcano. You know, I'm getting my confirmation, and things are starting to come to pass. And, you know, there's a big old hill you exit when you leave out and go towards California through the 15 south. There's a big old drop that you go down. I think it's right when you pass through Victorville. But if you think about it, you're probably exiting off of the volcano when you go that way. And who knows when you leave out Arizona or you're going out towards Utah. Las Vegas is a volcano and it's probably about to blow. It's the end of the last days, folks. Remember, we're the heads, not the tails. And if God could use me, he could use you too. In Jesus' precious name. And you know what we do when the devil pop his ugly head up? We cut it off. Resist thy enemy. There hath no temptation taken you, but such as is common to man. But God is faithful, who will not suffer you to be tempted above that ye are able, but will with the temptation also make a way to escape, that ye may be able to bear it. Wherefore, my dearly beloved, flee from idolatry. I speak as to wise men. Judge ye what I say. The cup of blessing which we bless, is it not the communion of the blood of Christ? The bread which we break, is it not the communion of the body of Christ? For we being many are one bread and one body, for we are all partakers of that one bread. Behold Israel after the flesh. Are not they which eat of the sacrifices partakers of the altar? What say I then? That the idol is anything, or that which is offered in sacrifice to idols is anything. But I say that the things which the Gentiles sacrifice, they sacrifice to devils, and not to God. And I would not that ye should have fellowship with devils. You cannot drink the cup of the Lord and the cup of devils. Ye cannot be partakers of the Lord's table and of the table of devils. Do we provoke the Lord to jealousy? Are we stronger than he? All things are lawful for me, but not all are expedient.